And so the question we're also running is, what does it look like historically? So when you're trying to decide if you have some cash to put to work, we talk about this at least every few months, dollar cost averaging versus lump sum. So I ran a bunch of scenarios looking back. I went back to the 80s, the recession of the early 80s, and I said, all right, if you have $1.5 million to invest, you can either put it all in, or you can dollar cost average over 6 quarters. And I said, all right, let's make the time periods similar to what they are now. So I waited till there was a 20% recovery in the market, similar to where we are now, put the lump sum in, that 1.5. That just shows blue line across the screen, 1.5 has been invested. Purple is the lump sum that was invested at the beginning versus the stair step, orange, is the dollar cost average because you're seeing money enter the market on quarterly intervals. And I know you know this one because we've seen this in almost all scenarios that we run. The lump sum outperformed, even after there's been a 20% recovery.
Yeah, this is one of those things where emotionally, or maybe there's that one time, it's really hard to find in the data, but you're almost always better off doing that lump sum than dollar cost averaging. But I would also say that emotions are a real thing, and one of the things we say is just get as much as you can and let's dollar cost average as best we can in the short amount of time. But every time, no matter how we slice this, looking at real data, looking at clients' accounts, looking at hypotheticals, it's almost, and I mean almost always, 99% of the time, better to do lump sum.
Yeah, and I spent a bunch of time running these. I ran 4 scenarios of the last, strong bear markets that look kind of similar. I should have just went to LinkedIn because Ryan Dietrich, someone we show a lot, a market technician over at Carson, he had already done it. He ran it slightly different than I did. He didn't dollar cost average. He just looked at returns after you've seen the same thing I was doing. After you've seen a 20% recovery, what do returns look like in the 1, 3, 6, 12 month to the right? A lot more green than red. Right. Like you pointed out, there are scenarios where there is red, and this could end up being one of those, but the vast majority of them shows up green.
Right. The market is a forward-looking machine. It's already projecting in all the bad news that we have, and it has built in a price to move up. And almost all the time, you're better just to put the money in. There is this one thing. What I would say is that's 2000. It's not 2008. 2008 was the worst correction. Right? That was the Great Recession. 2000 was rough, but it's 2000 that shows up because it's an anomaly.
Right. And this is Ryan's favorite type of charts. To our first actual chart we showed, which is the 52-week high, he ran the same thing, but looking at 52-week highs when you haven't seen one, that was even more bullish. There were 12 months, everything was green once you're hitting that new 52-week high.